Hello everyone, good evening. So in this lecture I am going to explain the following topic: inverting operational amplifier, non-inverting operational amplifier and summing amplifier. So to understand this entire part, you need to know the concept of amplifier. If you do not know, you can watch my previous video, already have uploaded in last week. So without further delay, we will start the session. My name is SRP, you are watching my beautiful channel, Love You Science. ठीक है, हेडिंग दे दो इन्वर्टिंग ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर। ठीक है, पहले देखते हैं ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर क्या है। ऑलरेडी मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था लास्ट वीडियो में, फिर भी बोल रहा हूँ। देखो ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर क्या है। इट इज ए हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर। क्या है? इट इज ए हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर। हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर। व्हाट इज द सर्किट डायग्राम? सो इट हैज टू टर्मिनल, वन इज नॉन इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल, सेकंड इज इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल। ये हो गया नॉन इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल, नॉन इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल, ये हो गया इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल। ठीक है, एंड सप्लाई इज V1 and V2, these are the input and this one is your output, and power supply should be given plus Vs and minus Vs। ये हो गया बेसिक सर्किट डायग्राम ऑफ ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर एंड इट इज ए हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर। गेन मतलब गेन का रेंज 10⁵ to 10⁶ होता है। ठीक है, so now the point is why we are going for inverting operational amplifier. What are the advantages? So पहले देखते हैं what are the drawbacks of operational amplifier. Since I have told it is a high gain amplifier, so the system is unstable. System is highly unstable because of high gain, and we cannot control over the output. मतलब output cannot be controlled easily. So to overcome this kind of situation, to overcome this type of drawbacks, we can go for inverting operational amplifier. So inverting operational amplifier क्या है? It is a constant gain amplifier. So to make the constant gain, we need to give a negative feedback. मतलब we will give a negative feedback. So definition क्या है? It is a constant gain. It is a constant gain amplifier. ठीक है, इन्वर्टिंग ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर मतलब इट इज ए कांस्टेंट गेन एम्पलीफायर। कमिंग टू द सर्किट डायग्राम, इट्स वेरी इजी टू रिमेंबर। as this name suggested, it is inverting, मतलब we'll activate the inverting part. See, the inverting part is negative, मतलब we'll activate the negative part, and we'll deactivate this one, मतलब we'll make that terminal as potential difference 0। मतलब ये V1 है, to make the V1 0 we have to ground this terminal। मतलब in non-inverting part should be grounded and inverting part should be activated। Is it clear? That is called inverting operational amplifier। And what are the other parameter? Like as I have told, we have to give a negative feedback through a resistance. That resistance is called RF। So we have to give a negative feedback, and this let this point is P, and initially the supply is given through a resistor. This is input resistance। ये हो गया the basic block diagram और basic circuit diagram of inverting operational amplifier। Are you getting my point? What is the difference? यहाँ पे मैंने बोला जैसे कि जैसे हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर मतलब नॉर्मल एम्पलीफायर होता है, हाई गेन एम्पलीफायर बहुत सारा डिसएडवांटेज है, अनस्टेबल है, वी कैन नॉट कंट्रोल ओवर द आउटपुट। सो टू मेक दैट amplifier to inverting kind of amplifier, we have to give a feedback, so reduce all this parameter। ठीक है, so इसलिए negative feedback is given through a resistance, that is called RF। and most important point is, since name suggested it is inverting, so inverting part को activate कर दो, मतलब you are giving supply V1 through a resistance R, and the non-inverting part को ground कर दो, मतलब to make the potential difference as 0, and supply will be given internally। supply is given, I have not mentioned over here। ये हो गया क्या है? the basic block diagram of inverting operational amplifier। I think it is clear। any doubt? ठीक है, नेक्स्ट एक कॉन्सेप्ट है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज वर्चुअल ग्राउंड। ये वर्चुअल ग्राउंड का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? सी, वर्चुअल ग्राउंड क्या होता है? वर्चुअल ग्राउंड कॉन्सेप्ट क्या होता है? वर्चुअल ग्राउंड कॉन्सेप्ट ये क्या होता है? देखो, सो लेट मी ड्रॉ द डायग्राम ऑफ इन्वर्टिंग एम्पलीफायर। जैसे मैंने बोला ये V आउट है, ठीक है, and input is, this one is minus, input is V1, and we are giving input through a resistance, that is V1, and this terminal is V2, ये non inverting terminal है, we'll have to make it ground, मतलब V2 will be 0. ठीक है, and gain is A. ठीक है, so what is virtual ground concept? As I've told, what is output voltage? Output voltage is V1 minus V2 into gain. ठीक है, so V1 V2 कितना है इधर 0, मतलब V0 is equal to V1 into A. ठीक है, so virtual ground क्या होता है, देखो ये feedback is there, feedback through a resistance. वर्चुअल ग्राउंड क्या होता है, देखो मैं एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं. लेट योर आउटपुट वोल्टेज इज 1 वोल्ट. आउटपुट वोल्टेज कितना है, 1 वोल्ट, एंड गेन इज 10 to the power 6. टेल मी व्हाट इज द इनपुट वोल्टेज हियर. व्हाट इज द इनपुट वोल्टेज, V0 अपॉन A. ठीक है, सो मतलब योर इनपुट वोल्टेज V1 is V0 upon A. V0 is 1 and it is 10 to the power 6. So it is 10 to the power minus 6 volt. मतलब 10 microvolt. ठीक है, sorry, it is 1 microvolt. मतलब V1 is 1 microvolt. See, 1 microvolt is very less. मतलब ये point, let this point is P. So almost we can say it is nearly 0. So that means we can say अगर वे कुछ होगा 1 microvolt due to some voltage drop across the resistance, the potential at P will be 0. मतलब we can say potential at P is nearly 0. So this concept is called virtual ground. मतलब the input voltage we can neglect as compared to output voltage. Since our output voltage is 1 volt and input voltage we are getting as 1 microvolt, since V2 is grounded, so we can say potential at this point P is approximately 0. ठीक है, so that concept is called virtual ground. It is called virtual ground. Is it clear? Understood? It's very easy. I have given example ना, output voltage is 1 volt. You see, what about input voltage? ये formula याद रखो. Output voltage is equal to the difference in input voltage into gain. ठीक है, so ये हो गया तुम्हारा virtual ground concept. So now we'll discuss closed loop gain. Closed loop gain of inverting operational amplifier. Closed loop gain क्या होता है? Okay, let me draw the diagram. ये V1, ये input resistance R1, this point is P, and negative feedback was given. ये output is V0. Negative feedback is given through RF. RF क्या है? Feedback resistor. Feedback resistor और feedback resistance. ठीक है, R1 is input resistance, and since it is non-inverting, so ये part को ground कर दो, इसको activate करो. मतलब ये V1, ये V2 क्या है, 0. ये हो गया आपका normal diagram. Now, how to find out the closed loop gain? See, let I is the incoming current. I is the incoming current. So this point is P. Let this potential at this point is Vp. Now tell me what is the current? As you know, according to Ohm's law, current is change in potential difference upon resistance. What is the change in potential difference? V1 minus Vp. So V1 minus Vp upon resistance क्या है? Input resistance R1. Now same current is flowing through RF, and now what is the change in potential? Vp minus V0. Resistance कितना है? RF. So we can write down Vp minus V0 upon RF. यहाँ तक clear है? यहाँ तक clear? Okay. Now we know if we'll apply the virtual ground concept. क्या है? Virtual ground concept में क्या था? मैंने क्या बोला था? Vp was near about 1 microvolt. Is near about 0. मैंने बोला था ना, it is approximately 0. You can take Vp as 0. So you put here. So I will be V1 upon R1, and यहाँ पे 0 डाल दो, so it will be minus V0 upon RF. So we can write here the V0 upon Vi or Vi, V1 upon V0 is minus of R1 upon RF. Cross multiply कर दो, then V0 upon V1 will be RF upon minus R1. और माइनस ऑफ आर एफ अपन आर वन। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट वी नो व्हाट इज गेन। as I've told, output voltage depends on the difference of input voltage into gain V1 minus V2 into gain। so V2 क्या है इधर 0, मतलब V नॉट इज A into V1। ठीक है, मतलब V नॉट by V1 is what, A। that means we can write down in place of V नॉट by V1 A। so what you are getting finally, the gain is minus of RF upon R1। most important formula याद रखो, इससे न्यूमेरिकल आ सकता है, minus RF upon R1। so what you conclude, मतलब by changing the value of feedback resistance, we can change that gain। understood, मतलब by changing the value of feedback resistance we can manipulate the value of A or gain। so that is all about closed loop gain of inverting operational amplifier। ठीक है, see this example। so by using that concept we can find out the output voltage। यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन क्या है, one figure was given, the value of input resistance is given which is 200 kilo ohm, and the feedback resistance value is given which is 1000 kilo ohm, and input voltage or that inverting terminal voltage is given 2 volt and V2 is grounded। so question is find out the output voltage। again I repeat, that circuit diagram is given, the feedback resistance value is 1000 kilo ohm, input resistance is given 200 ohm, input voltage V1 is given 2 volt, V2 is grounded, we have to find out V0। so what is the expression of that V0? you know V0 by V1 is minus of RF upon R1। so what is V0? V0 is minus RF upon R1 into V1। ठीक है, RF कितना देखो 1000, R1 कितना है 200, V1 कितना है आपका 2 वोल्ट। so मतलब it is coming minus of 10 volt। so that means output voltage is coming minus of 10 volt। so now the point is, since I have told it is a inverting operational amplifier, देखो ये जो voltage, अगर ये voltage ऐसे हो रहा है, the output voltage will be coming in this way। understood, ये magnitude is 2 volt and magnitude is 10 volt but in inverting way। so the phase difference between the two wave input and output is 180 degree। so that kind of question you may get in exam। okay, now we'll discuss non-inverting operational amplifier। non-inverting operational amplifier, पहले तो बोलो operational amplifier क्या था, it is a high gain amplifier, but non-inverting operational amplifier is a constant gain amplifier। क्या है, it is a constant gain amplifier। तो जैसे मैंने बोला था, we need a closed loop feedback for that। so what is the circuit diagram, ये हो गया आपका circuit diagram। so ये जो टर्मिनल नेगेटिव टर्मिनल इज inverting terminal, positive is non-inverting terminal। this name suggested non-inverting operational amplifier, मतलब we have to give supply to the non-inverting terminal and we will make ground to the inverting terminal। so you are making ground it through a resistance, that resistance let it be R1। यहाँ तक clear? and one closed loop, ये output voltage, one closed loop control will be there, मतलब feedback will be there। so ये negative feedback is given through the resistance which is called RF। okay, so now we'll derive this expression of gain, closed loop gain of non-inverting operational amplifier, which is most important। so we'll have to derive this expression of gain, or we'll derive this expression of output voltage in terms of input voltage and gain। ठीक है, so to derive that expression I am giving a shortcut। एक काम करो, इसका एनालॉगस डायग्राम ड्रॉ करो। so for better understanding we can draw another diagram which is analogous to this diagram, then only we can easily derive this expression। इसमें भी हो जाएगा but उसमें ज्यादा easy होगा। so how, see you can draw the diagram। ये आपका आउटपुट टर्मिनल है, ठीक है, एंड इसका पोजीशन चेंज कर दो, ये प्लस माइनस का पोजीशन चेंज करो, ये प्लस ये माइनस, जस्ट पोजीशन चेंज करो। Vi is given to plus, मतलब Vi is given to plus। ठीक है। नेक्स्ट, नेगेटिव टर्मिनल, ये V1 है, सॉरी V2 है, जो भी है, नेगेटिव टर्मिनल इज ग्राउंडेड, नेगेटिव टर्मिनल इज ग्राउंडेड थ्रू ए रेजिस्टेंस R1, मतलब नेगेटिव टर्मिनल हैज टू बी ग्राउंडेड, अंडरस्टूड, थ्रू ए रेजिस्टेंस R1, and at the same time one feedback resistance is connected to this point. Let this point is P, this point is P and this point is O, मतलब ये पॉइंट क्या है O, देखो, ठीक है, ये पॉइंट क्या है P. So what I'm doing here, so O to P, ये देखो O to P, I'm connecting a resistance, that resistance is called RF. देखो O, output voltage O to P, I'm connecting a resistance here. Now P to ground through a resistance R1, देखो P to ground through a resistance R1, and P is connected to the negative terminal, देखो P is connected to the negative terminal. कुछ डाउट है? इट्स वेरी इजी. फर्स्ट यू मेक द ट्रायंगल, ठीक है, माइनस प्लस है, इसको प्लस माइनस करो, प्लस वी आई इज गिवन टू प्लस, वी आई इज गिवन टू प्लस. देन यहाँ पे चेक करो, नेगेटिव फीडबैक इज गिवन थ्रू ए आर एफ, मतलब फ्रॉम O to P वन रेजिस्टेंस इज देयर व्हिच इज कॉल्ड आर एफ. देखो O to P वन रेजिस्टेंस, दैट इज आर एफ. At the same time P, from the P to the ground one resistance R1 is there, देखो P to ground one resistance R1, and P is connected to negative terminal, देखो P is connected to negative terminal. ये हो गया डायग्राम, ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड. Now we'll discuss closed loop gain of non-inverting OPAMP. Non-inverting OPAMP, ये हो गया डायग्राम, नॉन इन्वर्टिंग ओपैम्प का डायग्राम, सर्किट डायग्राम. सो we'll have to find out closed loop gain. कैसे देखो, it's very easy. You know that that output voltage is gain into difference in input voltage, difference in input voltage, yes or no? मतलब V naught is equal to A, let gain is A. What is the difference in input voltage? This one is VI and this one is what? VP. यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल कितना है? VP. So VI minus of VP. यहाँ तक क्लियर? यहाँ तक क्लियर? नेक्स्ट, हाउ टू फाइंड आउट VP? VP is, देखो VP क्या होगा? VP is V naught into R1 by R1 plus RF अकॉर्डिंग टू वोल्टेज डिवीजन फॉर्मूला. अरे ये कैसे हो रहा है? देखो इट्स वेरी इजी ना. ये मान लो कि देयर आर टू रेजिस्टेंस, ठीक है, ये तो ग्राउंडेड है, मान लो कि ये R1 ये R2 है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे वोल्टेज कितना? V naught, मतलब ये टोटल वोल्टेज कितना है? V naught. हमें क्या चाहिए? ये वोल्टेज चाहिए. देखो ये वोल्टेज, ये R1 ले लो, ये R2 ले लो, ठीक है, हमें ये वोल्टेज चाहिए ना VP, मतलब हमें V1 वोल्टेज चाहिए. V1 is net voltage into same resistance by sum of two resistance. If you do not know this one, so you can go through my previous video. in BW में मैंने कुछ वीडियो दिया था, उसमें वोल्टेज डिवीजन रूल था, जैसे करंट डिवीजन रूल होता है, सिमिलरली वोल्टेज डिवीजन रूल होता है. मतलब if there are two resistance are connected in series and you know the supply voltage, individual voltage will be total voltage into same resistance by sum of two resistance. Same concept will apply here, will apply the same concept. यहाँ पे टोटल वोल्टेज कितना है? ये तो ग्राउंडेड है ना, तो जीरो. टोटल वोल्टेज कितना है? V नॉट. अरे ये वोल्टेज कितना है? V नॉट. हमें क्या चाहिए? ये वोल्टेज चाहिए, मतलब VP is V नॉट into R1 by sum of two resistance. देखो V नॉट into R1 by sum of two resistance. क्लियर? यहाँ तक क्लियर? सो ये VP का वैल्यू यहाँ डाल दो, मतलब V नॉट क्या हो जाएगा? A into VI माइनस क्या हो गया? V नॉट into R1 by R1 plus RF, ठीक है. नाउ A को मल्टीप्लाई कर दो अंदर, सो A into VI माइनस A into V नॉट into R1 by R1 plus RF. अरे yes or no? Yes or no? Clear? ओके क्लियर. देन एक काम करो, इसको इस तरफ ले आओ, ये पूरा पार्ट को, मतलब इट इज V नॉट प्लस A V naught R1 by R1 plus RF will be A into VI. Then we can take V naught as common, so 1 plus A into R1 by R1 plus RF is equal to A into VI. Okay, so final expression here I am writing. So now we can write down V naught is equal to A into VI by this parameter 1 plus A into R1 by R1 plus RF. Now you can see one thing, A is very high, A is very high, let it be 10 to the power 6. So this one may be neglected, matlab the one factor may be neglected, ठीक है. If it is neglected then V naught कितना हो जाएगा A into VI by A into R1 by R1 plus RF. A will cancel, मतलब V naught क्या आ रहा है VI upon R1 by R1 plus RF. यहाँ तक clear? So here I am writing. See what is V naught by VI? V naught को यहाँ ले आओ, क्या हो जाएगा R1 plus RF upon R1. So मतलब 1 plus RF by R1. यहाँ तक clear? Any doubt? We know V naught upon VI क्या है A gain. अरे yes or no? मतलब V naught अरे yes or no मतलब gain क्या हो गया 1 plus RF by R1. और you can remember this one. इससे तुम्हें न्यूमेरिकल मिल सकता है. See, R1 will be given to the in the question input resistance. RF is given. Input voltage will be given. You have to find out output voltage. Or output voltage will be given and these two parameters will be given. You have to find out input voltage. ठीक है. So that is all about closed loop gain. So देखो ये question क्या है? Calculate the output voltage of non-inverting operational amplifier for the value input voltage is 2 volt, feedback resistance is 500 kilo ohm, and input resistance is 100 kilo ohm. So it is a non-inverting operational amplifier. We know the gain of non-inverting operational amplifier is V naught upon VI, which is 1 plus RF upon RI. Already मैंने derive किया था अभी. ठीक है. So इसका मतलब क्या है? We can, if we change the value of resistance, we can control the value of gain. मतलब the gain factor can be controlled by changing the value of this resistance, feedback resistance. इसका मतलब है ये. ठीक है. So मतलब what is output voltage here? 1 plus RF upon RI into VI. ठीक है. So 1 plus RF कितना है 500, it is given in the question. R1 कितना है 100, it is given. Whole into VI कितना है 2. So मतलब 1 plus 5 into 2, so it is 12 volt. मतलब your output voltage is 12 volt. ठीक है. Okay, now we'll discuss the last portion, that is summing amplifier or summing operational amplifier. A summing operational amplifier क्या है? It is a constant gain amplifier and it is a inverting amplifier with little modification. मतलब it is an amplifier with modification in input side. Which type of amplifier? It is a inverting amplifier. Which type of amplifier? Inverting amplifier. मतलब it is a inverting amplifier with some modification in input side and it is a constant gain amplifier. क्या क्या modification है? Multiple input will be given to make one result. That output depends on the sum of all input or maybe impact of the sum of all input. So let me draw the diagram. मैंने क्या बोला? It is a non-inverting operational amplifier. Inverting, not non-inverting. Inverting operational amplifier. Inverting operational amplifier क्या था? ये inverting terminal, ये non-inverting terminal. इसको ground कर दो. ठीक है. यहाँ पे सप्लाई था, yes or no. यहाँ पे फीडबैक था, ये आउटपुट वोल्टेज, ये RF. हमें ये क्या था? ये इनपुट वोल्टेज V1, ये R1 था. अरे yes or no. ये हो गया ओनली इन्वर्टिंग ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर. बट हमारा टॉपिक क्या है? समिंग ऑपरेशनल एम्पलीफायर. मतलब वी हैव टू insert multiple resistance in the input side. So multiple resistance, like we can take another 2 resistance. Here I have taken only 3 resistance. Let R1, R2 and R3, and corresponding input one is V1, V2 and V3. So मतलब we can give multiple number of input and the output result depends on the sum of impact in the input side. At this point is P and potential is Vp. यहाँ पे clear? Is it clear? Clear? Okay. Let input current is I1, I2 and I3 respectively. As per the Ohm's law, tell me what is I1? Current is change in voltage upon resistance. What is change in voltage? V1 minus Vp मतलब V1 minus Vp upon R1. What is I2? I2 is V2 minus Vp upon R2. What is I3? I3 is V3 minus Vp upon R3. It is clear? Clear? Next, sum of all current will be I. As per the KCL, total current will be added. Let this current is I. So again, according to Ohm's law, current क्या है? Change in potential difference. यहाँ पे potential कितना है? V naught. यहाँ पे potential कितना है? Vp. मतलब what is change in potential? Vp minus V naught. What is the resistance? Rf. ये clear है? ये clear? Next, according to KCL, sum of input current will be output current. Sum of input current will be output current according to KCL. So here I am writing. मतलब according to KCL, sum of I1 plus I2 plus I3 will be I. ठीक है, so I1 कितना है? V1 minus Vp upon R1. I2 कितना है? V2 minus Vp upon R2. I3 कितना है? V3 minus Vp upon R3. I क्या है? Vp minus V naught upon Rf. ठीक है, यहाँ पे वर्चुअल ग्राउंड कॉन्सेप्ट अप्लाई करो. मैंने बोला था वर्चुअल ग्राउंड मतलब क्या है? Vp नियरली जीरो. यहाँ पे जीरो डाल दो. so मतलब V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3 is minus V naught upon Rf. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? so मतलब आउटपुट वोल्टेज क्या है? इधर होगा, देखो, माइनस ऑफ I can say Rf by R1 into V1 plus Rf by R2 into V2 plus मल्टीप्लाई हुआ ना, ठीक है, Rf अपॉन R3 into V3. ये हो गया आउटपुट वोल्टेज. यस और नो? ठीक है, so that is all about summing amplifier. So see, these are the application of summing amplifier. Audio mixer में यूज होता है, DAC converter, digital to analog converter, and summing, scaling and averaging that depends on the value of resistance. रेजिस्टेंस सेम या डिफरेंट है, समिंग में डिफरेंट होगा, एवरेजिंग में सेम होगा. R1, R2, R3 will be same. So these are the basic application of summing amplifier. Okay, देखो एक क्वेश्चन है based on the summing operational amplifier. So these are the following data are given in the summing amplifier. Feedback resistance is 1 mega ohm. There are three input V1, V2, V3. Value is given plus 1 volt, plus 2 volt, plus 3 volt. Corresponding resistance is given 500 kilo ohm, 1 mega ohm and 1 mega ohm. So you have to find out V naught, output voltage. What I have told, what is V naught? Minus of, tell me, Rf upon R1 into V1 plus Rf upon R2 into V2 plus Rf upon R3. फॉर्मूला अभी डिराइव मैंने किया था, into V3. जस्ट पुट द वैल्यू, गेट द आंसर, और कुछ नहीं है. Rf कितना है? देखो 1 मेगा ओम. ठीक है, 1 मेगा ओम मतलब 10 to the power 6. ठीक है, रेजिस्टेंस R1 कितना है? 500 किलो ओम मतलब 500 into 10 to the power 3. 500 into 10 to the power 3 into 1 volt प्लस यहाँ पे Rf कितना है? 10 to the power 6. R2 कितना है? 1 मेगा ओम मतलब अगेन 10 to the power 6. V2 कितना है? 2 प्लस Rf कितना है? 10 to the power 6. R3 कितना है? 1 मेगा ओम मतलब 10 to the power 6 ओम into 3. ठीक है, so now it will be cancel. I think 3 to 5, यहाँ पे 10/2 मतलब माइनस होगा, -2 होगा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे 2 होगा कि नहीं? 2 plus 2 plus 3, so answer is -7 volt. ये हो गया आंसर. Okay, I hope you guys understood what I've explained today. Like non-inverting amplifier, its working principle, circuit diagram एक numerical किया, then inverting operational amplifier, circuit diagram, working operation, and summing amplifier. So with this I am ending this lecture. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you once again. Thank you.